If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener. I'm Joey Baird. Well, we're going to plant our leeks and onions and intercrop some radishes and throw some shallots in the ground as well. Now, the key to onions and leeks are hardening them off correctly. Now, we started these from seed back in late January, early February, that is, in 1 gallon root maker grow bags. And we have done this procedure for about 4 years now, and this is the best procedure that we have ever found to work. The reason being is you've got 4 or 5 inches of good compost potting mix there, onions on top, and now we can just pull out the onions that we want. Now, if you don't have your onions started, or you have onions that didn't do so well, we've experienced that before, you can go to your local independent garden center and pick up some starts, or that's the bundle of onions that look like green pencils, or you can get some independent nurseries will have them started like this. If you go to your big box store, you want to be cautious as to they may have multiple varieties of onions that are categorized in all 3 growing areas of the United States. Long day is what we want here in the north. Middle or neutral day is what you would want in the central portions of the United States, and short day in the south. It's based on the number of hours of sunlight during the peak times of the summer. If you try to go a short day and a long day, you're going to get green tops. Long day in the short day, you're going to get green tops, not much bulb. So we've got our long day variety onions. Leeks, doesn't matter. You can grow leeks anywhere, anytime. We've got American flag leeks, which we have started ourselves from the seeds in which we've saved. You can see they're a little on the thin side. However, we really packed them in, so that can be a contributing factor. We put probably 300 leeks in that 1 gallon grow bag. So our system that we have set up here, we've got drip irrigation set up from last year. This is from dripworks.com, and this is where we had our beets. So instead of changing everything up, we're going to utilize what we had last year for our onions and leeks. Beneficially, we can go an onion on each side or a leek on each side and maximize. We need to space them about 4 to 5 inches from row to row, and from plant to plant about 3.5 to 4 inches, because when they get mature, we want them just almost to be touching one another, not to physically touch, because they know that there's crowding and they won't grow as big. And then what little space we have between them, we'll throw in some radishes as they will mature in about 30 days, so we can get them out before it interferes with the onion growth and development. So I'll just start right here on this side so you can see a little bit better. The leeks and the onions, as I plant them, I'm going to do onions first, and it's just going to be the same procedure with the leeks. Now, here I was talking about the benefit of using these 1 gallon grow bags here. Good loose soil. So now I just want to kind of get in here, separate them, put my hand in there, and boom, out and ready to go. And then we'll just plop them in the ground. With the leeks and the onions, it's okay to bury them about 2 inches, because I'm in a raised bed here. If you're in the ground and you've got dense soil, you would want to not bury them so deep. Leeks, you would typically take a dibber or something to puncture a hole and set them all the way in, so you get more of that white bleached portion, which is traditionally taught to be the only edible portion on a leek. However, the entire plant can be utilized for any cooking application. It just does not have to be the white portion. So whether you bury that plant all the way down or just plant it on top, it doesn't matter. It's going to taste like a leek, and you can use the whole thing. So it's up to your discretion how you would want to do that. So I'm just going to get these planted. Once I get the leeks and the onions planted, once I get the onions planted, I'll come back and I'll show you about the leek thing like I spoke about. And then radish and shallots, and we'll get this bed all planted up and get ready for the next project. Okay, so we've got our onions planted. Now in between here, we're going to do a row of radishes. Going to do a row of radishes here. Nothing special, just champion radishes, just to try to maximize the space. Now, these were ones that we did a germination test on a few months ago and had 70% germination rate on seeds that were from 2013. So I'm going to heavily pack these in here, and then I can always thin them out, which I will need to do. And that's what we're going to do between all the rows. These are champion radishes. We'll probably throw some icicles in there and Easter egg, whatever we have available, but just to try to better utilize the space. Okay, so now here's where our leeks will go. We want to just pat that down, move those out of the way. So let's go with the Esther Craig leeks here. These are the ones that are going to get 3 inches in diameter, or that's what the possibility of them are. So you pull them out of the root maker grow bags. You're going to shake off, or it's going to fall off the potting mix. And then what some people will choose to do is take a device, such as the back of the handle, and press it down. And I'm going to every 3 to 4 inches there. And they will take and bury the leek. What that's doing is preventing the sunlight from growing, or from exposing the sunlight to that lower portion, which will bleach it. We have done that in the past. It's worked. You can if you want to. We don't see a purpose of it because we eat the entire leek. Now you can water that and it'll filter in, or like we're doing, we're just going to backfill. And you can do this with your onions. You know, you could lightly tap instead of doing a trench like we have. But it can be done relatively quickly. Drop it in, cover, and then we'll do the same with the American flag leeks on the other side. And that is how easy it is to plant leeks, radishes, onions. Now let's talk about shallots real quick. Shallots are a smaller, sweeter onion, and I have some here in which we have saved from years past, year after year. Now the unique thing about a shallot is they don't grow singularly. These have been busted off, but they will grow in clusters, 3, 5, 7 of these together. You plant one and it divides. So the only thing, there's several different varieties of shallots you can plant, but really the easiest way to go is push it in the ground, give it about 4 inches, push that one in the ground, and that's all you got to do. Like that one's got 3 clusters there. I'm sure there was more, but on something like that you would just want to pull them apart, plant them. Larger the bulb, now just like garlic, larger the bulb, the better opportunity you're going to have a larger cluster of volume of bulb. If you plant a bunch of small ones, you're probably going to have a cluster of very small bulbs. So shallots, it's something, if you don't like peeling onions, shallots are not the item for you unless you can get the larger shallot variety. These are ping pong ball size or so. So leeks, onions, shallots, intercropped with radishes, real easy to do, all in a single bed. Keep them watered and you'll have radishes in 30 days, onions in about 90 days, and shallots somewhere in between. Thanks for watching. Remember to rate, subscribe, and comment. I'm Joy Baird, and this has been the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.